Don't throw out those old ceiling fan blades until you see this. I'm choosing 3 fan blades that have a flat, woodsy appearance for their background tone. Holding a bracket on a blade like it's a hook, I'm penciling in the screw holes, then drilling new holes that will accommodate the original screws. I'm now using the first blade as a template to mark the others, then drilling holes in all of them. The blades are getting a good clean, then a light scuff sand and dust removal to prepare them for the next step. I'm placing the blades onto some burlap fabric, then cutting the burlap around the outside of each blade. Reaching for some Mod Podge, I'm brushing it on each blade, then flattening down the burlap strips on top. After mixing some water with some additional Mod Podge, I'm brushing it over top of the burlap so it will saturate the fabric. I found tapping the brush up and down, especially along the edges, helpful in applying more product to those areas. I allowed the blades to dry overnight. After scuff sanding and removing the dust from the brackets, I'm spray painting them in black spray paint on both sides. Now that the blades are dry, I'm trimming the burlap against the blades with scissors to create clean edges. Each fan blade is being poked with a tool through the newly drilled holes to separate the burlap. The brackets are being installed to the blades using the original nut, bolt, and washer, slipping them through the newly drilled holes. To hide the original screw holes on the brackets, I'm hot gluing on some wood plugs over top, leaving them in their natural tone to chime in nicely with the burlap. I'm now pre-drilling, then screwing 2 cup hooks on each upper part of the blades. After a top hook is installed, I'm hanging keys to help position the second hook. The hooks will protrude through the back of the blades, however, that will help mount them for later. To better hide the screws, I'm painting them black, then tapping my finger across them to lift some paint so they mimic antique brass. For a final touch, I'm adding some random placed stencil designs with palette details to give the burlap added personality. To mount the blades on the wall, I'm pushing against the cup hook screws so they grab into the wall, then I'm further securing the blades to the wall using black screws. And my new coat and key hooks are ready to work as hard as they look cool for my front entry. I love the stamped burlap fabric look, which gives them a super cool updated rustic style. However, you can also paint the fan blades or even decoupage paper on them to suit your own style. And since hooks can be so expensive to buy new, using the original fan hardware makes these coat hooks free. Their updated black paint with woodsy touches create the perfect combination to chime in with that burlap. Don't throw out that old ladder until you try this. I'm cutting down the ladder to my desired length. The ladder sides are being lightly sanded down to remove any rough areas and to prepare it for painting. The rungs of the ladder are being taped around each end using painter's tape. The rest of the ladder is being painted in Fusion's Ash. The area around the rungs are getting painted with a brush, then the rest of the ladder is being painted with a roller to make the task quicker. I'm now measuring the width and height of one opening of the ladder. The measurements are getting transferred to a large bulletin board I had in my stash. I'm penciling in two, then cutting the squares using a straight edge and X-Acto knife. Both bulletin board panels are getting wrapped in burlap. I'm stenciling the burlap with some rustic stencils in ash, then stapling the burlap to the backs of the bulletin boards. Since the burlap was a little short in some areas, I'm using some heavy-duty duct tape to help grab the edges, then secure it to the back using staples. I'm now flipping the ladder and the bulletin board panels good side down, then attaching the bulletin boards to the back of the ladder with screws. I'm positioning the ladder where I'd like it to hang. Two L brackets are being positioned on top of the ladder and against the wall where I think they can be hidden the best. To make the ladder more useful, black cup hooks are being screwed in along the bottom of the ladder lined with each rung. And my handy and cool looking office shelf is ready to work as hard as it looks good. The ladder is the absolute perfect length for this office wall. With a combination of black against wood, the ladder chimes in so well with my style and really pops against this white wall. Pick up some hardware cloth and river rock to create this super unique idea. While wearing safety gloves, I'm rolling out some 1/4-inch hardware cloth, then marking a height of 22 inches with a clothespin. Now I'm measuring the length of the plate, tripling that number to 39 inches. Using wire snips, I'm cutting the hardware cloth along the two measurements, then rolling up the cut wire into a tube shape. Now I'm using zip ties to join the tube shape together permanently. I'm placing them at each end and along the center of the tube, then trimming off the excess. With the tube now standing straight up, I'm placing a cut mesh square on top of the opening. Now I'm using the wires to attach the sheet to the tube. Now I'm trimming down the sheet to the shape of the tube, then using the wire snips to bend the cut wires slightly downward for safety reasons. I'm now gathering some clean river rock from a nearby flower bed, choosing the largest rocks I can find. Turning the wire tube open side up, I'm filling it about 1/4 ways up with the rocks to create a substantial base. For a final touch, I'm positioning the plate on top to close off the tube, which leaves you with a super cool, nature-inspired side table that can display anything you wish. I love the rustic industrial vibe the river rock and wooden plate took on. However, you can also dress it up with white decorative rock teamed up with a sleek black plate on top. The best part is you get to choose your look. This unique side table is a fun way to bring the outdoors in with your decorating while displaying nature's best. And the plastic plate is also waterproof, which is perfect for serving up your favorite beverages indoors or out.